folks, Papa Boris here, playing some more Altered TCG. Let's continue on in our series to play with all of the starting decks. We're gonna go for Axiom, because axioms are a logic word, so this is the logic fact. Anyway, so this hero can give you a Brass Bug 2/2/2 token. There's another faction that just gives you a free 2/2/2 token every other turn. This one, God, it's got the floating card bug. This one could potentially give it to you multiple turns in a row, but you have to play a permanent to get it, and obviously there's not that many permanents. We actually did get a permanent here. So what this does is it comes with 3 Keylon counters, and once per turn you can pay an energy to make a 2/2/2 token. The catch being you only get 3, and once they run out, unless you can resupply them with some card, then you get nothing more out of it. And then this permanent resupplies, so once per round, the top card of your deck goes into your reserve, which is a little bit curious. We're spending a lot of mana for that, but it's card advantage. So let's see. I think playing this as a 2/2/2 for 3, just so that you can play it out of the reserve to get a token, is not worth it. So we're gonna pass on that. And the question then is, do I keep both landmarks? Put a card from your hand in reserve. Okay, so it's overstated for its cost, but I'm not going to dick around with that. We're just going to keep the landmarks in a 1/1 and call it a day. So this faction, you're gonna start slow, and then you're gonna hope to overwhelm the opponent with Brass Bugs. Is this card gonna keep on floating? Oh, it's not. Okay, great. So we're gonna go ahead and play this. I mean, if you're not playing this on turn 1, then really, what are you doing with your life? It's what you gotta do. It's like with that other terrible faction. You just have to roll the dice, even if it's bad, because that's what you're doing. That's what you signed up for. You gotta make Brass Bugs. Oh, my opponent's also this. Axiom! Look, they have a robot. They are smart! Stay tuned for the other factions. Hypothesis. Theorem. Postulate. Okay. Sorry, I don't know why I'm making fun of this game now, but let's see if they also get this. I mean, I think this is, at least with the starter decks, it's gotta be like the best thing you could possibly hope for. A 2/2/2 is not super likely to win a lane, but you have future advantage. Oh, right. I can't actually play this on the next turn because I'm spending an energy to make a Brass Bug. I mean, I might not. I might, spend an energy to make a Brass Bug and spend energy on this, and then maybe spend 2 energy for something else. If I get a 2 energy card, that is possible. Okay, so my opponent chose to play the Elemental here. I don't... Oh, that's clever. So actually, I had the same option to do this, and I just didn't think of it. You can use the Keylon Elemental to put this into reserve and then play this, so you're skipping the part where you play it from your hand and it sucks. Very clever. So I just didn't see that. My opponent did. They went for it. I'm not sure I would have done it, even if I had seen it, just because I still want to get this landmark down, but I have to admit I didn't see it. Right. Well, this character means that my opponent wins both lanes. Luckily, this thing has only 1 forest, so my opponent does not stop me from moving here. I have 2 forest to their 1, so we both move here. They're gonna move here. They are gonna fill up their reserve and throw a card away, which is, I think, the correct play, because paying a card and maybe throwing away a card to get 1 extra board advancement, I think, is just worth it. This isn't like Magic or Hearthstone where life is a resource that you should spend because you got kind of a lot of it. I mean, the number of spaces that you have to move to win the game is kind of small. You have to net 7 spaces, right? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or 1, 2, 3, this thing's here, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you pretty much always, I think, unless something's crazy going on, want to throw away a card to advance a space, because 7 is just a very small number. Anyway, I don't know what they're thinking about right now, because they have literally nothing they could do, but I'm okay with this opening. So they move up twice, I move up once. They are ahead on that. They are way behind on cards. They have no cards in their hand, and they're throwing a card away out of their reserve. So they're very limited on cards, but they are going to have a really strong turn next time with this, or with, honestly, this and a card from their hand. I thought they were going to throw this away because that seems kind of silly. So me, on the other hand, I got to look at what I'm drawing. I didn't get a 2-drop. So paying 1 energy for this is a little underwhelming because, oh, well, I can't play this and a 2-drop, but I can play one of these, I guess. This is fleeting. Oh, it's a spell. What am I, send to reserve target character with hand cost 4 or less, or discard target permanent with hand card. Oh, so I can actually get rid of one of their permanents. But I think that I'm going to turn this into mana, because I don't see myself using that twice. It's fleeting. You only get to do this once. And the question is, do I put this thing into my thing? You know what? I'm gonna go for it. We're gonna pass. So what I'm passing on right now is making a token out of this. I am gonna play this. We're gonna get a brass bug token, which is probably not gonna win a lane, but you know, let's go for it. Even if we're gonna lose, let's do the thing where we build up 2 permanents with lasting effects, fall behind in the early game, and then see what happens. All right. So my opponent is making a brass bug. I'm guessing they're gonna make it over here. Just, you know, pressure me. Yep. So they have a 2/2/2/2 in every single lane. So what I'm doing here is I am playing my Axiom reprocessor, filling up my other landmark spot. Note you only have 2 landmark slots, the way that you have only 2 reserve slots. I am going to put my brass bug on the hero side, and the reason is that my opponent's in water, which is very restricted. They have to have specifically water to advance here. I want to keep them here. Meanwhile, on the companion side, when they advance, they land in a desert spot, so they have to have a desert specifically. Now, if they have a 1-drop here, they could ruin my life. Nope, they don't. Okay, so this is, you know, this is me living the Axiom lifestyle. Logic and thinking. You take it slow and steady. They're 2 turns ahead of me. 2 turns. They are behind on cards. They have a total of 4. I also have a total of 4, but I have 2 landmarks generating value. Oh, God, it's another... Okay. Well, I'm not going to play this. This is really good. You get a free 2/2/2 token every round and when you play it. But by playing this, you know, I means I'm not going to play this. Because, I mean, I could play it and toss out one of these, but that ship has sailed. So we're going to get rid of that thing. Oh, I have another one of these. Oh, crap. Oh, God. Well, I should have thrown away this because I'm definitely never playing this again, but I might have in some crazy land. Oh God, I have nothing to do. Oh, Jesus Christ, this is horrible. Oh, God. Oh man. So I drew like no creatures basically. So I get a 1/1 and a brass bug, and that's it. So, I can resupply. Oh yes, maybe I get something good from this. Let's go. Oh, hey, we got a creature. That's all I ever wanted. All right, perfect. So we're gonna... That actually is perfect. Oh my God, that's actually really good. Because I have this for 1, and then I have 3 left over to play my 3 little pigs again. Oh, this actually even gains a boost because I have 2 landmarks. I totally didn't even... so this is gonna be a 4/4/4 for 3, which is great. Okay, well, there's no reason to commit to that. What I'm going to do here is put pressure on my opponent. My opponent actually didn't get mana last time, which I understand because they are, you know, they're just so far down on cards. They wanted to preserve card advantage, but I don't think you can just play this game at 4 mana. I mean, I could be wrong. My opponent is very far ahead. Maybe they're thinking, hey, let's just pile drive and try to bring it home, but I believe that's a mistake. Actually, I did this wrong. I should have put my token here, where it has the forest and water, instead of playing and then played my card over here where I'm still in the starting zone. Here, only the water is mattering. So if my opponent, you know, so basically I need forest and this card is not contributing, and my opponent can just block me on forest more easily because I don't have forest from this card. Okay, so my opponent chooses to play that, which makes some sense. They are blocking my water. They are providing desert, which is what they need to advance, and they're keeping their hand to their chest, so I don't know what else they're going to have. What I'm going to do here is just, it's unfortunate, but I think I'm just going to play this. This blocks them from moving, and it gives me a chance to move. it's a mismatch. My high forest over their low forest, and it is a forest zone. Now they do have 2 mana, and with 2 mana, they could definitely do something bad. And did they? The answer is no. I don't understand this play. They're not stopping me from moving because I still have water. And their 5 desert matches my 5 desert, so they're not moving. So I am guessing this is a mistake I myself have made many times playing this game, which is that like when your tokens are not in the same space as your opponent, you just kind of forget to keep track of which stats are relevant. They might be thinking, actually I don't know what they're thinking. They're just losing on all the stats. Well, basically we're tied on 2, and I beat them on the other one. I don't know why they did this. They could have just put this here. Oh no, they couldn't because they're in water. They wouldn't have moved here. Interesting. Did my opponent have a way to do this? I don't know. If they had put this opposite my brass bug, which they could have because this was at the very beginning of the round before we play cards, they would have been threatening to move and stopping me from moving. Then they could have played this later, beaten my 1 desert thing after I committed this over here to move. Yeah, actually, I think my opponent could have moved. Once they committed this here, they could not move because this character has no water, and they need water to move here. And they don't stop me from moving because I have 2 water, and I'm in the starting zone, so I would move. Well, I would have also moved here because it's also water. So they messed up, I think. I'm not 100% sure. But I think that they needed to play this card here and save this card here. It's counterintuitive because this has the bigger desert than this, and they need desert to move. But they could have tricked me by letting me keep this open. Anyway, so now I'm in great shape. I'm a mana ahead. We're tied on space, and I'm cards ahead, or a cards tied. They have 5, and I have 5. But I'm a mana ahead, which is critical, and I have 2 landmarks, both of which... This thing was crazy, actually. This thing was so good that it gave me that 4/4/4 for 3. So, all right, so my opponent got mana. Am I going to pass on mana? Oh, no, I'm not going to pass on mana because I have this thing, which I'm never, ever going to play. There's no way I would ever play that. What would I do? Replace this? Or replace... I guess I could replace this after it ran out, but no, that's silly. All right, so what I'm going to do is first I'm going to resupply to get information. We got basically 4/4/4 for 3, which is great. And do I want to spend an energy? Well, let's see what I'm doing. So I'm not going to play this because this is at this point in the game. I don't want to play it, reserve it, play it again. What are you? If you control 2 or more landmarks, I get. Oh, this is like a rare or unique version, so it's a 5/5/5 for 3. And then we got this thing. So I cannot generate a brass bug and play this and this, unfortunately. With 5 mana to work with, I don't have anything that costs 2, unfortunately. I gotta really think about this. Because without anything that costs 2, I'm basically like just playing this and my brass bug. Which, okay, what am I doing alternatively? Playing this and this? Yeah, I think it's fine. Let's go ahead and make a brass bug. Hard to tell where to put it. All my things are kind of unistated except for this thing, which has no forest, which doesn't matter because there is no... Okay, so it doesn't matter. I'm not going to sweat it. All right, so I'm glad my opponent's first because they only have 5 mana, and I want to see where they commit it. They have a pretty crappy card in their reserve because they're not in a forest zone. So it's just a 2 for 2, which is not good. So if they want to keep their hand close to their chest, it means committing 40% of their mana on a crappy card. Okay, they're playing this, which does nothing at the moment. Starting next turn, they're going to make brass... Okay, it does give them a brass bug. But this thing itself, apart from triggering the hero power, doesn't do anything right now. So we're brass bug versus brass bug. What I think I'm going to do here is wait on this. I think my opponent probably knows I'm going to play this. But... I am just gonna go here to pressure this lane. I mean, it's only 1 stat, but they only have 2 mana. Also, this card doesn't contest me. It doesn't move, and it doesn't stop me from moving because they're in the same spot as me, and the 1 stat that matters here is the 1 stat this card doesn't have. Oh, what the hell? Oh, you can throw this away to trigger the battle cries of a permanent. So they could actually put 3 more Keylon counters on this and have it last longer. Not that this game is going to last more than 3 rounds after this, I suspect, but it's kind of cool that they get just a free benefit. because this is a card they were not going to play anyway. They played it. Okay, I don't really understand that, but I think my opponent was just honestly screwed if they didn't have something amazing in their hand that costs 2 mana. So this is a desert-only zone. Obviously, I can beat 2 desert, and then my little dinker over here. The question is, how do I beat that? Because I could play this, but it's kind of overkill. Oh my gosh, you know what? I think I'm actually playing this. Weird as... No, this only ties. Yeah, so I could play this. I was thinking I could cheat it into the game and play it even though it's horribly understated, but that would only tie. I think I'm going to follow my principles of, you know, you should play a card if playing a card gives you an extra advancement. I could actually play this spell, which is an interesting idea, because this is very strong. This is 4 stats worth of stuff. This is only 4 stats worth of stuff if you're getting rid of something that has 4 stats on it, and I don't think my opponent's likely to generate something like that. I mean, I guess they have the 3 little pigs, but they only have 1 landmark, not 2, so this is actually not gonna... Yeah, I'm actually gonna... This is crazy, but I'm actually gonna do... Wait a minute. No. Because that only ties. That only ties. It doesn't win, it ties. It takes away only 2 desert power. Okay. Crap. Yeah, I just cannot cheat the system. We need to go full bore here. Just to pile drive that lane. It's a little crazy, but it means that both of my tokens advance, and neither of my opponent's tokens advance. They're still not ahead of me on cards. They only have 2 to my 2. We're tied. We have the same landmark. Now, mine only has 1 token left. So after the next round, I'm not going to get any more brass bugs, but there might not be another round after this. Actually, no, that's a premature statement, because my tokens are going to be with 1 space distance between them. So unless I can move both lanes again next time, I'm not going to win next round. So there is going to be another round afterward, which means that this thing is going to run out. And I did not get an engineer that I can throw away to... God, floating card. Hang on. I did not get an engineer to refresh it. Okay, so we got Amelia Earhart. So this is the thing that you kind of want to land in your supply. It's a 2/2/2 for 3. I'm probably going to discard that because it's just bad. This thing's bad too. Both of these are a 2/2/2 for 3. But this thing, well, I mean, they're right there. Yeah, you know what? They're just both equally bad. They're just both bad. Do I want a 2/2/2 for 1 or 4/4/4 for 3 the following turn? If I play that, which is not even that likely. Okay, I'm gonna have a harder time with water, I guess, just because of this. If I end up playing it. 6 mana after putting a token down, though. I'm going to be playing a couple of 3s. I'm probably not going to be playing my 2. Maybe I should have actually sent the 2 in for mana. This is a lot of power. This is a ton of power, though. We got 5/5 for 3. Oh, we also get this resupply. Oh, God, that's actually... I really like that. That is something I'm surprised by. Okay, so we got this, which is... It's a sort of the common version of this. It's one stat less. And I am going to do this, because I'm basically playing 2 3-drops here. I don't know where to go. Well, I think it might matter somehow, but I'm just not going to sweat it too much. If I have to throw this away, I'm fine with throwing it away. I'm not super concerned about it. It would have been better if this were in my hand and this were in the supply, but, you know, what can we do? Okay, so my opponent is also getting their free brass bug, like I am. They only have 5 mana because they bafflingly chose to skip getting mana a turn. I really wish my opponent were first player here. But alas, what do we do? Do we split the pressure? Or do... Wait a minute. Right, I played my... I don't have a split the pressure thing. This thing doesn't generate a token this turn. I think what I'm actually going to do is probably play both of my pigs. So I am going to just put a bunch of pressure here. If it's 4 stats... across the board, which is very significant. Even the stat that is not the one that you need to advance can be relevant. The water is relevant because my opponent needs water. I don't, but my opponent does. So this is making it harder for them to move here. And I generate 4 stats of everything else. Oh, they played something big. They played this. Why? Well, okay. I mean, I don't want to criticize my opponent. They might have just been screwed. But, yeah, they're going to lose now. So they're going to generate a token with this, and they're going to generate a token with their hero power, but... I'm wrong! No, they don't lose because they're tied over here with their brass bug. Oh, snap. If this had been the other pigs, I got greedy. I should have played this. If this were here, I'd be winning this lane, and then I could just drop anything here and win that lane, but I cannot play more than one thing. Oh, no! Okay, so I'm out of tokens on this. My opponent isn't, so they're going to get it next time. What I'm going to do here is pick my favorite lane to move, I guess. Either way, I have a token landing in just forest, which I'm fine with, so we're going to put this here. So basically what I'm doing is I'm kind of cheating the system. I'm playing a crappy card when it doesn't matter that it's crappy, and then next turn, I'm going to get the good version of this card. Yep, I got greedy. I would win this turn if I had just chose to play this. Now, you might say, well, Boris, that was reasonable. This was sitting in the reserve. If you play this and then this, you end up throwing card advantage away. But, you know, I might have guessed, like, hey, what if my opponent just has junk in their hand and a 5/5/5 can just win it, and then I can pile drive the other lane and win that lane too. I probably should have gone for it. I think it was a mistake to throw away the one stat because it made all the difference. Okay, I'm not sure what my opponent's thinking about because they have literally nothing they can do. So what's going to happen is they're going to get 2 free brass bugs next turn. And I am going to get 0 free brass bugs next turn because this thing's out of counters. Well, it wasn't free. So I am in a little bit of trouble. I am going to have to lean basically on this and the 3 little pigs. And I guess this guy. Pile driving a lane to win. Because I only need to move 1 token in 1 lane to win. And I guess I'm going to probably pick the forest lane, even though that's more limited because I've got extra forest stat. Do I have anything that changes that here? Put a card in reserve. We're not going to play this. This is just not going to happen. If I'm going to play a 2-drop here with 8 mana, it's going to be this one, which gives me 3 of the relevant stat for 2 mana. I could have moved the other token, and then both of my possible movements would have been forests. Oh, that's smart. Right, because if my opponent starts to put stuff here, like if they pile drive this lane, then this thing, well, it matters less, I guess. It still contributes 2 over here for desert. I could also be doofy and just kind of like put brass bugs in both lanes. Or a 2/2/2 in both lanes with this thing instead of trying to pile drive. All right, let's just see what my opponent does. So they're gonna discard a card for mana, I guess. I don't think they're gonna play 4 cards for 6 mana. Though if this is a hand of like 2/2/1/1, maybe they would play 4 cards for 6 mana. We are not gonna put a card from hand in reserve, thanks. So they're gonna get 4/4/4 for 1 energy here. And then they just need to stop me from winning a lane. And they're splitting, which makes sense. Let's take a look at what we get for our resupply. Does this change anything? Oh, God, it's this. Well, this would give me two tokens right now, and I could still play this, which would give me 2 more tokens. So I could just pile drive a lane and maybe win this turn. Even if my opponent moves both lanes, they're still not likely to win next turn because they would have to move both lanes again to win, and then I could have a chance next turn to pile drive a lane and win. Only I would be getting an extra free token to do it. Interesting. Very. I could have actually used. I could use this to get rid of their thing, right? I mean, I don't have to put up with that. Oh no, it costs 4 or less. This is 5, right? Okay. They passed. Oh God. Oh my God. Oh, this. I feel bad. Oh man. Jesus. Well, it's a new game. People don't know the rules yet. Yeah, so once you pass, you're done for the round. I don't know if I made that clear in my rules explanation video. They wanted to pass, I'm guessing, to see where I would commit my mana and then decide where to put their stuff, but that just means that they ended their turn. So that was a bit anticlimactic. I probably could have won that turn by just pile driving a lane with my pigs and my armor, which for a total of 9 stats. And I could have done it in the 2-stat lane, so they would have had to like get up to 9 in 2 different stats starting. Well, they would have needed 7 more, but still, that's a lot. They did have 2 permanents, so they could have also had the 3 little pigs. So they could have had 5. Oh yeah, they could have definitely done it. They could have forced it to go to the next round. It would have been a real choice whether I play the landmark or try again. But anyways, that was that. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like and or subscribe. I'll see you again soon. Take care.